Matthew begins his gospel with the genealogy of Jesus, but it's a singular genealogy because it includes 4 women. And that's remarkable in itself, but when you examine who they are, it becomes even more so, because these are not just any women. First, in this genealogy of the Messiah, Matthew mentions Tamar. Even in our day, when sexual matters are discussed quite openly, the story of Tamar, a woman who disguises herself as a prostitute and convinces her father-in-law to buy sex from her, gives us pause. Matthew follows up with Rahab, the prostitute from Jericho. When we tell the story to children, we describe Rahab as an innkeeper, but the context and the vocabulary in the book of Joshua are clear, and 5 other Old Testament passages refer to her as a prostitute. Rahab was not just an innkeeper. Next, Matthew mentions Ruth. When thinking about her, we tend to forget the strong prohibition God had given Israel against marrying foreigners, especially those from Moab like Ruth. But Matthew has not finished shocking us. It would be difficult to imagine a more scandalous woman than Bathsheba. The story of David and Bathsheba reads like a soap opera. Nudity, adultery, betrayal, conspiracy, murder, and that's just the beginning. But that's Matthew's quartet of female ancestors of Christ. 4 women, all with questionable pasts. Which brings us to the question, why? Why did Matthew include these and only these women? Why does he insist on focusing our attention on these 4 difficult situations? Aside from being ancestors of Jesus, what do these 4 women have in common? After all, in 42 generations, there had to be 42 wives and mothers, yet Matthew mentions only these 4. What is Matthew trying to tell his readers? And why did God allow these women all to become part of the royal line and even ancestors of Christ? These women are anything but ordinary. They don't fit our image of the perfect woman. They were not the timid little fruitful vines in the corner of the house, the psalmist's idea of a good spouse. They had little in common with the ideal woman pictured in Proverbs 31, except for one crucial characteristic: initiative. They became ancestors of Christ because they seized or created opportunity, took the initiative, and acted, often contrary to male desires and expectations. And yet God honored these women who took the lead, who did not wait for male permission, did not accept their designated role. God honored them as only He could by including them as ancestors of Christ. Those 4 women formed the starting point for my study, which I share in this book, For Such a Time. But it is only the starting point. In the book, For Such a Time, I explore the stories of more than 16 women who took the lead and how God responded to them. I found the study fascinating. I think you might too.